All right.
Is everybody in?
Looks like everyone's in here.
How come I don't see them? Oh, maybe because I need to do this. No?
Yep, we should be all set.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Managing Dual Roles. A series, it's a third meeting in the series of meetings we're having for the FOCs and the BCOs. Before we get started, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Claudia Staniszewski. I'm with the Rhode Island office. There's not too many people on the call. There's few enough that we can go around and introduce yourselves. I ask that maybe you unmute and maybe show your video if you're up to it this morning. And we'll start with my colleagues at LIS. Senia, if you want to get going.
Sure. Thank you, Claudia. My name is Senia Cuevas. I am Program Officer for Economic Development at our Newark office. Leah.
Leia's not here. Oh, there she is.
I'm here. Hi, everybody. Leah Martins-Krasner, Community Development Officer with the LISC New York City office. Great to see everyone this morning. Go ahead.
So Oliver, why don't you start, Oliver Reynolds, since I know you, introducing yourself.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Claudia. My name's Oliver Reynolds. I am the employment coach at the Amos House in Providence, Rhode Island. So I work across all of our programming, shelter housing, training programs, walk-ins for individuals seeking employment. I also teach work readiness classes to our training students and 90-day folks. And yeah, so I've been had the pleasure to work with LISC for the last 3 years and really been enjoying it and helping a lot of people out.
Thank you. Well, I'm just going to go on my screen. How about Kenesha Williams?
My name is Kenesha Williams. I am the retention specialist here at the Urban League of Essex County. I also have a dual role as well as a career coach.
Thank you. Inez Padilla.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Inez Padilla. I'm the financial coach for Ironbound Community Corporation in Newark, New Jersey.
Guavin, please tell me I totally messed up your name. Khan.
Guvan.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, so my name is Zainab. I work as income sports specialist at the Community Action Agency in New Haven.
Oh, Zainab. I met
Yes,
you.
Zainab.
Okay. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
Good. How about Faye?
Where am I?
Hi, Faye.
Hi, I don't know why you can't see me. Can you? No, you
I
can't.
can see you now.
You can?
Yes, I
Okay.
can. My screen's all messed up too. I can't see anybody. It's a
I
little
don't
bit
know what's going
disconcerting.
on. Good morning, everyone. My name is Faye Godbolt, and I am the Director of Community and Economic Development for Naugatuck Valley Community College in the city of Waterbury, Connecticut. We are a first-year grantee, and we're glad to be here. I just wanted to come online for a while. I can't stay for the whole meeting, but I wanted to catch what I can because I learned so much with through these workshops. So I'm glad to be here.
Welcome. How about Gavin? I really just chopping up people's names this morning.
That's all right. My name is Gavin Taylor. Good morning, everybody. I am the financial coach for the Urban League of Essex County. And yeah, I'm just here to learn as much as I can this morning. I also have to jump off just slightly early, around 11 o'clock, but I'm here to get as much information as I possibly can. So excited to be on this morning. Thank you.
Great. How about Erica? Well, we can move on for now. How about Jay?
Morning, everybody. My name is Jay Benitez. I'm the employment.
Some serious
Yeah, I'm sitting across from Oliver, so here we go. I'm the Employment Engagement Specialist at Amos House. I work under the Rhode Island Reentry Collaborative grant funding. Brand new to Rhode Island, been here for about a month, so happy to be here and meet all of you new people. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is Erica here now? How about Melvin? We're introducing ourselves, Melvin. How about Jess Colazzo? Oh, Melvin's here now. Melvin's here.
Hi, everybody. I just came into the meeting. I'm officially starting my first day in this new position, so I'm eager to learn all that it is.
What organization are you with?
Oh, the Amos House FOC program.
Great. Welcome. I'm from Rhode Island, so I'll be seeing you now and then. Chris, how about you?
Hey, Chris. Hi, I'm Chris Ackley. I am with Genesis Center. I am the financial coach and FOC manager.
How about Jess?
Hi, Jess Collazo, Philadelphia LISC.
And let's see, who did I forget? Ms. Brown, I forgot. And
Hi, I'm Tamara Brown. I'm the financial coach for New Community Corporation in Newark, New Jersey.
welcome. How about Jen Cotis? She's still connecting. Give them a minute. Erica's here. Is Erica here? Maybe not.
Hi, good morning. I was clicking the wrong thing. Good morning. I'm here.
Good morning. Where are you from, Erica?
Out of the wonderful city of Philadelphia, home of brotherly love and sisterly affection. Go Eagles.
Was there some sort of sports game on last night?
Oh, definitely. Definitely with our football. Let's see, we had football, we had hockey. Oh, it's been a massive weekend of sports. So anybody who's a sports fan, I've definitely had my fill for the weekend.
And I think lastly is Jen. She may have stepped away for the moment. Well, that's Jen. Oh, hi, Melinda.
Hi, my name is Melinda Martinez. I'm from APM and I'm the financial coach. And also I do income support and employment. And I've been working for 1.5 years and I'm excited to hear about the meeting today.
So you have a triple role.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and then we have, well, is everybody who's here? I mean, Jen is from Rhode Island, just letting you all know. She'll be here, I'm sure, eventually. So good morning, everyone. Today we have Bianca Durango. Do you want to show the agenda slide, Leah? We have Bianca Durango from JARC, James Adam Redevelopment Corporation in Chicago. And this is a very strong workforce organization, and they're actually expanding to Providence. So welcome, Bianca. It is so great to have you here today. We've gone through the welcome and introductions, and I'm going to pass this off to Bianca in just a second, and she can introduce herself more if you don't mind. And then we'll have some time just to ask some questions after her presentation. We'll then go into breakouts and we have some questions to help guide your discussion. We'll come back as a group and debrief. And then at the end, we have a little survey that if you could fill it out, it would be great. So with that, Bianca, good morning. Thank you for being here. And the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you for that introduction. Let me pull up my PowerPoint. All right. So, as you've said, hi, good morning. My name is Bianca, and I am, as you can see from my very long job title, the Graduate Financial and Career Coach here at Jane Addams Resource Corporation in Chicago. It's a pretty unique position. So I'm going to share with you a little bit more about it and some strategies that I use with my team just to manage those two roles. So to give you a little bit more context about JARC, that's the acronym. We're located in Chicago with 3 training centers on the north, south, and west side of the city. We do have a satellite location in Baltimore, and we're actually, as you mentioned, soon moving to Providence as well. We do workforce development, manufacturing training, and we are an FOC. So we train in CNC, press brake, welding, and mechanical assembly. And we are also using that Bridges to Career Opportunity model. So while people are in training with us, learning CNC, welding, or mechanical assembly, or press brake, we're also providing them with financial coaching, work readiness, employment coaching, and income support applications. So helping people apply for Medicaid, SNAP, unemployment. And where I fit in that equation is basically that people enroll in training, they receive those supportive services. Once they have completed training, we use our employer partner connections in the area to help people apply for jobs. Once somebody is officially placed and working, we consider them a graduate from JARC. And my job is then to check in with all of those graduates to gather job retention data and continue to provide those supportive services, so the financial and career coaching. So just a little bit of a breakdown of kind of what my two roles look like. On the financial coaching side, I'm meeting with our program graduates to discuss credit, budget, savings. I'm sending out monthly newsletters and creating and managing partnerships and financial services like those match savings programs. We also do, myself and the financial coach who helps on the trainee side, do a fair amount of policy advocacy. We're part of Financial Inclusion for All Illinois, and we're trying to get our program graduates and trainees involved in that. So that's been a little cool project that we've had for the last few months. On the retention coaching side, I am contacting 40 to 60 people a month and checking in with them about work and any financial needs or income support needs that they might have, talking with people through workplace challenges or job searching, and obviously a lot of data entry for Salesforce and Airtable. And then in general, I'm just managing any requests and communications from graduates. So as you might imagine, these are like my core job responsibilities, but there are a lot more. And there are hundreds of JARC graduates. So I try to create just a ton of client lists, and that helps keep me as organized as possible. I say a master list of active graduates, which is like people from the last, I would say graduated from the last 2 years, and then people who might have received services in the last 2 or 3 years. But it's definitely not uncommon for me to get emails from people from like graduating in 2008 or 2011. But it makes it easier to kind of keep a list and send out mass emails. I can look back on old notes for those clients. Our database administrator for Salesforce also creates and runs reports for me every month to make a list of people due for retention updates. And that is really important for keeping me organized. I take that list, I put it into an Excel sheet, and then that kind of becomes my list for the month for me to stay on track with who I should be reaching out with to and updating. I also try to make lists for people who want to return to training, who are looking for a job, and organizing all of those clients just helps me to remember who needs what. So this isn't like the most beautiful to look at. I had to block out all of my clients' information, obviously, but just to give you an idea of what that looks like, I just include basic information like their first name, last name, which site they're coming from, which program they're graduating from, the number of times I've met with them, and then any notes about things that we've talked about or things that they need or issues that we're working on. I also then at this bottom here have like kind of an example of what my monthly retention list looks like. So I will take that and organize it, include the client, how long they've been in their position, and then any notes that I might have about them, and also a section there at the end just for me to remind myself and keep track of the fact that I need to be putting these people into Salesforce and into Airtable. I would say the biggest lesson that I've learned in this position, especially in the last year, is that I can't control or anticipate which clients will reach out to me. I can reach out to so many people in a day, but I don't know who's going to email me. Wasn't uncommon last summer for me to get a lot of crises from both ends of the spectrum, right? So like a lot of people emailing me to say that unfortunately they were laid off due to COVID. A lot of people reaching out to me because they knew that fortunately JARC was able to receive a lot of emergency cash assistance that I could distribute to graduates who would email me and say, I can't pay my rent this month. So those are people that I obviously want to prioritize and help as soon as possible. And if I am reaching out to like 10 or 15 clients in a day and I get, you know, a lot of people responding that they need these things immediately, or I get an email from someone saying they need help as soon as possible, it can be very overwhelming. So I like to leave as much space as I can for myself to deal with those situations if they come up. So if I have this monthly list of I need to reach out to 60 people by the end of this month, I can say maybe I'll only reach out to 5 today and assume that all 5 would respond and say that they need something urgently. Then it wouldn't be too much of a overwhelming situation for me. Another strategy that me and my team have used is to create operating procedures or SOPs specifically for data entry or requests from graduates. And I think this has been extremely helpful because there are a lot of steps and a lot of things that go into the retention on Salesforce and for people who would like to come back to training. So it helps establish common understanding of what my responsibility is, where my team can support me and what their responsibility is. And then we can also use it as a reference or a checklist. So to kind of give you an example of what that looks like, this is taken from our SOP around retention and data entry for retention in Salesforce. Basically, for any of these retention milestones, I'm going to be checking in with them. But it does say at the top there that I can use my director as primary backup. So my supervisor should be my go-to person if there's anything that I need or that I need help with. And I think that is nice to have and nice to know that if I need support, he's there to help me. And I know that there's also other steps in this process that my coworker helps with or will do. So it's just, I think, a useful tool. This is from our SOP around helping graduates who want to return to training, which can be due to another number of reasons, usually because someone's been working in their job for a while and they would like to come back to skill up on a certain welding strategy or technique, or they want to get another CNC cert. So this just outlines basically what my responsibility is in that. and then everybody on my team knows this is the way that this goes, and it makes it easier for all of us to know, basically, if a graduate reaches out to me, this is what's going to happen. And with that also comes just teamwork in general. So the SOPs are outlining, like in writing, that these are the things that I'm accountable for, and these are the things that my colleagues can help me with or are accountable for. That there are also smaller responsibilities or tasks that can be managed by my teammates. So for example, a common request that I get is for graduates to reach out to me and say that they want to update their resume. We have an employment coach on the trainee side who does resumes all day, and it's not very hard for him to take over that task for me, so I can refer our graduates to him to update resumes. And in general, right, like just communicating as much as possible. If a graduate reaches out to anybody else in JARC, they will let me know. I attend a lot of regular check-in meetings with my team and everybody else in the organization, so that I kind of know who's in the pipeline to be a graduate, and they know any updates that I have about recent graduates. In terms of systems, so there's a lot of like checklists and routines that I do, especially for data entry, like credit reports or those retention milestones in Salesforce, that I kind of have like a system or a routine for. So I think you saw all of my crazy lists, but I will go through at the end of, like, say, each day and color code or check off or whatever the things that I have done already. And that for me is really helpful because there are a lot of things that I have to put into Salesforce. And also taking time to create a checklist or an Excel sheet or what have you for procedures like the COVID emergency cash assistance. There was a few last summer where the requirements for each in Salesforce was different. So it was really, really helpful for us to all sit down and say, these are the things that need to be put in. And then it's easier to just go in to that checklist and say, I gave this person, you know, this much money for their rent. I know that I have to update their credit report. I have to update their budget. And that, I think, makes it a lot less overwhelming for everybody, basically, to make sure that we have everything in Salesforce. Also, just keeping that routine or checklist consistent and only focusing on one thing at a time. So for me, what's really helpful is putting aside time at the end of each day to update my client lists, putting aside time every week to maybe put stuff into Airtable. And once a month I send out a newsletter and I try to time that for when I know that I'm not going to be extremely busy. So then if a bunch of people respond to something that I sent out, I have time to respond to that. And I think that is useful. So just some takeaways. I think taking time to organize clients, create systems or operating procedures, or just even checklists for data entry can make things easier in the long run. Definitely takes some time, and that can be frustrating to make lists and to make checklists or to make these operating procedures. But for someone who has a lot of job responsibilities, I think it's helped me a lot. Once you create those systems or those checklists, just sticking with them consistently. So again, the end of every day, every week, or every month, just updating and just making space, basically, where you can for unexpected client emergencies, questions, requests. And I think that helps a lot with feeling overwhelmed. And then with that, any, I guess, questions or comments? And then I also included my email address if anyone was interested in reaching out or had any other questions.
Well, you are certainly a organized person. I know for sure I could not do your job. And the teamwork too, I think is really great. So you've
Yeah.
shared some, I think, very valuable methods, strategies to keep yourself organized. I don't think I could do it and be so, you know, regimented about it. So does anybody have any questions for Bianca or would like to make a comment? Are these things that you do, any of these strategies?
Oh, hey, yeah, I actually had a question, comment. This is Jen from Amos House. Yeah, I'm very impressed with all the systems and the organization. I was curious because we also tried at one time to have a position that was sort of a post-employment type of position. We didn't combine the financial coaching and the employment coaching, but it was sort of more of a retention follow-up. And we struggled with the structure because we found that people had gotten really accustomed to like working with an employment coach. And then at the time when they're sort of in a position to move on, a new person kind of came into the picture. And we realized like along the way, like we needed to incorporate this person earlier and sort of start to build a relationship. But I'm just curious if you could talk a little bit about that transition from like employment coaching to the retention and sort of how it works for you guys to sort of have a transition on the team to working with a new person.
Yeah. So it's a challenge for us as well. And even more so a challenge because I've been working virtually this entire time until actually I'm going back next month. So I think that that might be the opportunity for me because I'm going to be working out of our training centers. But I have kind of tried to go out of my way as much as possible to introduce myself to trainees, so people who are currently in the program. And I think that makes the transition a little bit easier if they know who I am and can recognize my name. So our program coordinators have introduced me to people. I join on virtual meetings. So like I kind of mentioned, I'll join in on regular like training services meetings. So I know all of these people's names. I know who's in the pipeline to become a graduate. So I can start to either introduce myself or learn more about that person. And I think, yeah, just me being at the training center every day and becoming more of a regular fixture there, which I will be doing next month, is probably going to help with that transition. But I think it is really, and I've been doing that virtually, which I think helps. But it's really just, I think, taking an opportunity to like find a way to incorporate that person while people are in training.
Right.
And I think the financial coaching helps with that a little bit, only because like we have a financial coach who works with our current trainees, and then I am also a financial coach. So me and the current, like the trainee financial coach, I guess you would say, collaborate on a lot of things. So she does a lot of regular classes that I can participate in. So people get to know me. We work on different projects together so that people kind of learn to associate me with these like match savings programs that we offer. So I think that helps as well.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense that there's sort of something active that you're doing with them. I think our participants, in a way, like we sort of developed this retention plan to help guide like a conversation about career advancement. But I think when the two kind of go hand in hand, we just got a lot of sort of pushback of like, you know, why is this new person kind of coming into the picture now?
No, yeah, I totally understand. It can be a lot. And my supervisor actually, and my coworker, so we have a BWS team, which is a business services team. They know my coworkers because those are the people who are getting them into a job. So they also use that kind of as like a handoff to say like, you know, Mallory and James, who are my coworkers. We helped you get this job. Here's Bianca, who's also on our team. And now that you're working, she's going to be working with you. So there's also kind of like a handoff there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I'll ask a question. This is Chris from Genesis Center. Do you find that you are providing financial coaching and career coaching at the same time or in the same interaction with clients, or is it usually one or the other?
So my goal is to incorporate both. Anytime that someone reaches out to me and says that they're interested in meeting for, say, like they want to review their credit report, I start the conversation by asking them about their job. And that gives us like an opportunity to check in about that when I'm contacting people. So again, those 40 to 60 people a month, I will also segue into that conversation or text them and just basically say like, hi, this is Bianca from JARC. How is work at blah, blah, blah. I hope you're doing well. Please let me know how you're doing, how it's going. And then also if there's anything that you need on the financial coaching side. So my goal is to incorporate both. I find that usually people will have, I guess, challenges with one or the other. So sometimes I'll have people who want some more help on the financial coaching side, but they're doing really awesome at work and they don't really like need to talk about it. Or people who come to me because they're like, I'm having this problem with my supervisor and I really want to talk to you about it. And then they might not need financial coaching, but my goal is to incorporate both. And I try to lead with work and then I guess ask them if there's anything else that they need on the financial side.
Great, thank you.
Just going to give it a second to see if anybody else wants to ask a question. All right, well, that was great, Bianca. Thank you so much, and I'm impressed by
thank
all
you.
that you manage. So what we're going to do next is go into some breakout rooms. We have a set of questions to help move your conversations along, but I would say look at the list of questions and just talk about the ones that you're most interested in talking about. And then we'll, those of us from LISC will either be in your room or hop into your room and just make sure everything's going well. And then we'll come back and we'll debrief. I'm forgetting the agenda. And then I think we'll wrap up with the survey. That's right, Leah, right? Yes.
That's correct.
Thank you. Okay, so Leah is our IT person here, and she's going to put everybody into the breakout rooms now, okay? So you'll be invited into one. And the questions will be in your chat.
Okay, everybody.
Yeah, go ahead and do your thing.
Anyone having any trouble getting into a room? Hi, Melvin.
So sorry for that. I had to stepped out a minute. What was the questions are we supposed to be talking about?
I'm gonna put you in a room, and there'll be questions in there for you.
Okay.
Looks like everyone should be trickling back in.
We're the only timely ones. Here we go.
Everyone should be back now.
Everyone's back? Okay, great. I hope you had good conversations in your breakouts. And if anybody wants to share, that's what this time is for, just to have a larger group discussion, share a little bit about what you talked about in your groups. So I'm going to just stop talking for the moment. Jen, you have anything to share? Sorry to put you on the spot.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I guess one of the things that we talked about, and strangely, we were in a group that had 3 of us from Amos House, so one other person, but it seemed like both of us, we talked a little bit about just how things had shifted in terms of needs during COVID. And so while we talked about specific dual roles that have come up, or I did anyways, like we've certainly had times when we had a financial coach also managing income supports. But we talked sort of bigger picture that, you know, over the last year, we've kind of been dealing with sort of a dual role of our FOC and trying to come to terms with sort of how we manage that within the organization. And so, you know, it's sort of this need, the need out there is so great. And so, you know, one of the things that happened to us is we do an orientation every Monday. And so during COVID, it sort of became the one opportunity that if somebody called about something, they would say, hey, just go to orientation. And so there were certain things kind of getting pushed our way that, you know, wouldn't be considered an FOC, you know, maybe as a standalone, it wouldn't be an FOC client, but, you know, someone might call about rental assistance, somebody might call about housing needs, somebody would call about, you know, someone might come in just for an ID, but not really know there was more that they could access. And so we were kind of managing all of that through these orientations, like to the point where, you know, we had some staff members who started during that time, and that was sort of what they learned and what they knew of the FOC model. And so as we're now kind of, you know, hopefully coming out of COVID and kind of looking at like what's happening and who's being served to kind of bring back the FOC model, it's almost like sort of a shift in mindset to get back to what sort of the goals of the model were, and try to separate ourselves from all of this kind of emergency crisis related stuff. And so, you know, I was just sharing that that's sort of where we're at as an organization, trying to, you know, look at how we can address that. And one of the things we're doing is really, I think, talking about a separate department that manages emergency services and will house some of that stuff so that our coaches are not bogged down with kind of these one-off things. And, you know, we certainly can be a pipeline. So for, as people, you know, address some of these basic needs, they can then work their way towards FOC. But, you know, we've just noticed over the last year, it's a lot more kind of one-off needs, or I think maybe in other meetings, we kind of refer to them as like a transaction versus a longer term relationship. And so we're kind of just slowly trying to shift back to where we once were from that.
Not easy, probably, because
No, yeah. I mean, it took a while. I think when we started, we've been doing this for about 10 years. And so, I mean, it definitely was very intentional and took a long time to build up to getting the model to work the way we want. And then it very quickly, you know, sort of can shift back to what people need. And so I think it's definitely, yeah, takes some intention to get it back.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Somebody else want to share?
Hello, I was trying to unmute. Just to piggyback on Jennifer, you know, like a lot of things changed during COVID, but for the most part, if we want to talk specifically about roles, I think because we're very small and the amount of participants that we engage with on an annual basis is almost, I guess, working in this field, dual roles is almost synonymous. Either it's going to overlap or you're going to have to jump in when you're down staff or when you're shifting. But for the most part, in my department, and I share this with the team, the one role that we don't mess with is our financial coach, because it's a little bit more intense and we want them to fully engage the clients and working in those financial areas. However, other positions like our benefits specialist and is an intake coordinator, our career coaches, a retention specialist, but every one of the team does constant case management. It depends on what the client requires and needs, because there's always refresher, there's follow-up, there's changes that impact their life that can impact any one of the areas that we provide services. I think the benefit that we have as an organization is that we have a lot of internal services that we can make referrals to support the endeavors of that client holistically. So that's pretty much it on my end.
Thank you. Z, do you want to share? Oh, she just left. Oh, no, she didn't. Nobody else wants to share? Well, okay. We actually blew through that agenda pretty quickly. I had a feeling this session might go a little quicker than some of the other ones. Does anybody have any last comments they want to make about anything they heard today? Oliver, you're on mute.
Of course I am, because why wouldn't I know how to use Zoom after a year and a half? Not to put Kainisha on the spot, but she was talking about something that her agency was doing regarding QR codes, and we got cut off at the end of what she was telling us. So I don't know, again, not to put her on the spot, but if she could talk a little more about how she's using those QR codes for retention and, you know, following up with individuals.
I'm not sure I see her on the
Oh,
call.
did she leave? Oh no.
But you know what? We'll put you in touch with her.
Okay, thank you.
For sure. Anybody else? Let me just write that down. Okay, well, you all get almost a half an hour. Bianca, thank you very much. I certainly thought you gave a great presentation and we had some good discussion in the breakouts. So thank you so much for coming to us from Chicago.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Now on Thursday, we have client retention and incentives coming up. If any of you are interested, we hope you join us. Thank you very much to everyone for attending, and Bianca, again, thank you. And the survey that I was going to ask you to fill out, I didn't get the link, so you get off the hook for this one. I don't have the link ready to drop. Leah, you don't have that link, do you, from the last one?
No, but we can send it in the follow-up.
Okay, we'll send it in the follow-up. Thank you. Okay, then you're free to go. Oliver, I'll be sure to connect you.
Thank you, Claudia.
Yep.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.